Okay guys, well, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna be talking how to set up SMTP. And over there are different type of products that you can use if you're not using at least Actionetics. I'm gonna go over SendGrid. And one of the reasons why I really like SendGrid is because of their pricing. They have a they have a free tier that you can send up to 40,000 emails on your first month, and then of course they reduce it to 100 emails per day. And if you are in that limit kind of forever, that's when it's gonna be for free. Now, if you are getting started, probably you're not gonna be sending yet too many emails. Although, let's say you go over the 100 emails per day, the next plan is only $15 per month and allows you to send over, well, actually 100,000 emails per month. That's what it says. And if you want to even send more, just add $10 more per month for $10,000 more, 10,000 more contacts. So it's really great plan. I've seen it over there, multiple companies and everything. I think this is the best one. It's really easy to integrate with ClickFunnels, and their pricing tier is really good. So without further looking over here, start for free, create a free account over here. Once you have the account for free, you come over here to SMTP settings. And I already created my Actionetics in the previous video, so that's why I have it here. If not, you're gonna have to click add email integration. And over here, you are going to add the title of your integration. Let's say, for example, this one, I will call it SendGrid. So I'll remember which integration it is from myself. And then my email will be this one. My SMTP server is actually called smtp.sendgrid.com, and that will be the same for anyone who have an account with SendGrid. And the port is what it will be 587. That's usually there. The SMTP user is your username that you use on SendGrid. This is my case. And the password that you use to create your SendGrid account. So this will be my password in this case. Now the SMTP domain, that will be the domain of the SMTP. So I'm just gonna copy this one to make it faster. .com. This is the domain that you basically created. We created in the previous videos in ClickFunnels. And then you have to add over here your address, etc. and your SMTP footer. And all of this is mostly for regulation. For the kind of spam, you have to be able to provide your address information in the footer of every email. Now, I'm not gonna put it over here, but it's gonna be below this video, a really easy text that you can just copy and paste it and just put it over here. Really easy. It's just like regular type of thing saying, hey, this is like this is my company, this is my address, this is the phone number or email where you can contact us. These are privacy type of links, and here is if you want to unsubscribe. So all those kind of things are to regulate for the canned spam compliance. Once you have everything over here set up, just click on Save SMTP Integration, and we should be good. But it looks like I messed up something there. So let's say, for example, you have an error or something. Click Learn How. I really like this guide over here. It's sendgrid.net actually. I think I put it .com. So always handy. I don't have all of these settings memorized, and just to make sure the port is 587. So here's also an example of what it should be on your footer, but this one is not very clear, so I'm gonna send you one in the bottom of this video. So I changed it over here to .net. Come back again, save, and should be good. Perfect. Now, if you look at it over here, it's good. It doesn't have like this one. This one is only if you have Actionetics. Over here, it will tell you that external, but here it tells you integration is successfully created. And that's basically everything that you need to do. That if you see over here, it's just like a few minutes. It's just knowing, you know, like this kind of values, like, hey, this is the server, this is the number. That's where a lot of people usually messed up, especially on the port number. There's a lot of port numbers that you can use on SMTP. That's why I really like SendGrid. because it just works. You just put over there the configuration and it just works really easy. The problem is that if you look out there, there's hundreds of products and a lot of people just try to now integrate other products that are not working very smoothly with ClickFunnels, and that's where the problems comes by. Hey, you don't want to get stuck in the technology, just use what it works over there. If there's any reason why you're not using SendGrid, well, probably you try to use it, but I don't see why not you're gonna be using SendGrid if you are not already having Actionetics. Okay, so now we're halfway there. Although we already successfully integrated our SMTP, I'm saying we're halfway because of this reason. When ClickFunnels will send an email to your customer, it will show over there on the email that it was actually sent by sendgrid.net. Now, in so many cases, you may not want that. Some other cases you want it. So we can introduce you what I think is called white label email domain. And basically it's using, you already have your domain. Like in my case, it's ClickFunnelsForBeginners.com. So I don't want when my customer receives an email to look like, oh, it's at sendgrid.net, right? It kind of like don't comes with my brand. So how can you do that to bring your brand over here? So every single email that you send is also at cf4beginners.com or whatever your domain is. Now this will be a little bit technical, so I will try to go very slow so you're able to see my screen, and I will try to go step by step so it becomes really easy. Just do what I'm doing over here. So the first thing that we're gonna be going is to your, where it is, to your SendGrid account. So here's my SendGrid account. I already have everything over there. And you're going to come over here to settings, and you will come to sender authentication. And that's when you are going to first authenticate your domain. So I already tried to authenticate this one. That's why it says pending, because I just wanted to know that everything is working. But let's say you don't have anything there. So you click over here, authenticate your domain. So you click over here and you put what your domain is. So my domain will be, you will put over here, where do you host your domain? So let's say, for example, you're hosting in GoDaddy, right? Just put it over here, GoDaddy. If it's hosted in another place, well, they have a lot of companies over here, right? If you're not sure, or other ones, that's totally fine. I don't even know that if that will make, let's say I'm not sure. Let's say you're not sure where it's hosted or anything, just to see what happened. And then we want to make sure that we want to brand our links to the domain. That means that, hey, we want also our branding whenever we send emails. So we click next, and over here now it asks us, hey, what's your domain? And my domain will be ClickFunnelsForBeginners.com. And I just click next, and over here it will show me all these things. Now, if you watch my video on how to set up your custom domain, now this will look very familiar, where now you have to use these CNAMEs on your DNS domain. Now, in my case, if you look at it already on my domain video, I'm using cPanel. But basically the same process will apply if you are using any other ones. cPanel is very common if you have a hosting environment. If you are using GoDaddy, just go to the DNS settings and you can just edit those ones, the same as I show you on my domain video. So what I'm gonna be doing over here, I'm gonna add a CNAME record, because that's what SendGrid is telling me. SendGrid is telling me use this one as my host, because that's my domain name. So my zone will be this one, right? And if you see that I put the dot at the end, because over here they require me to put the dot at the end. If you're in GoDaddy, you don't need any dot, you don't need anything. You just need this first part before the first dot. That's if you're in GoDaddy. If you're in cPanel, most likely you're gonna have to put everything with a dot at the end. Make sure it's CNAME, and we're putting to the record, it will record to this sendgrid.net. And then add record. Then we do that for the next one. So we have to add quite a few. So we will get this one. Let's put it over here. And then let's add also over here this one. Then we go to the next one. We just copy here, add another CNAME record, paste it over there, and just copy this one. Now remember, if you do all of this in GoDaddy, it will take 5 minutes and it will be automatically updated, because GoDaddy, they have a lot of servers behind. They're like huge. So because they're so big and they have so many servers, for them it's almost instantly whenever you change a record or add a new record. Now because I have a hosting environment, they have to communicate to different servers, and that usually takes some time. So what I've seen it, at least for my server, it usually takes 30 minutes in order to fully be integrated through all of these things. And it took 30 minutes when I was recording my custom domain video. So most likely it will take me 30 minutes over here too. But once you have all of this copy and pasted, you click over here. I've added those records. Now the only way to know if everything is already propagated, you have to come over here, verify, and it will tell you, hey, it's good or not yet. And over here they say they find an error because they couldn't find it yet. So I'm gonna have to wait probably for 30 minutes and re-verify again. I'm not gonna let you wait for 30 minutes, so I'm gonna pause the video right now and I'm gonna come back in 30 minutes and we're gonna continue over there. And okay, we are back. It has been about 30 minutes and everything should be good. So I will click this button. I think my video is blocking, but there's a button down here that it says verify. So I click it over there, it will look at it and basically says, okay, perfectly, now everything looks like it's working. Return over there to send authentication, and now my domain is authenticated, verified, and I also have now my branding linked. So now every time that I send emails, it will be at my domain. And that's basically everything. This concludes this video of SMTP, how to configure it if you are sending outside of Actionetics, and especially how to configure it with SendGrid. I will have other videos later on the other sections, but right now remember, this is the quick one where we basically gonna go through the basics, things that work, things that are very smooth, to have basically your funnel up and running in the shortest period of time. Because actually where you have to put the most of the time is when you create your offer and what type of funnel you're planning to do it. But of course, in order to have all of that, after you have all of that, you have to now set up ClickFunnels account to make sure that everything is working accordingly. Now let's take a look at the next video.